Failure and success aren't enemies. They're the same song played in two keys. Failure collapses inward, like a dying star falling into a black hole. Success explodes outward, like a supernova, spraying stardust across creation. Same energy, different costume. Both electricity. One mask of contraction, one mask of expansion. And here's the paradox. Collapse feels like death, but it's safe. Expansion feels like life, but it's terrifying. Because once you shine, there's no hiding. Think of learning to walk. You collapsed 1,000 times, and each collapse was rehearsal for balance. You didn't fail. You charged your nervous system with data until it could expand into stability. Think of heartbreak. You collapse inward, sobbing, breaking apart. Yet from that collapse, you reorganize. New standards, new strength, and you expand into a self that will never again tolerate the bullshit that you once did. Think of school. You bomb a test. Collapse inward with shame. If you stay collapsed, you quit. But if you expand, you study harder. Upgrade strategy. You succeed. So collapse is the inhale. Expansion is the exhale. Without both, there's no life. Zoom out. Humanity itself runs this cycle. Civilizations collapse inward. Rome, the Mayans, Babylon. And from their ruins, expansion happens everywhere, carrying forward the seed. Collapse fertilizes the soil for future expansion. Zoom in. Every muscle fibre in your body must tear, collapse, before it strengthens, expansion. Without that destruction, no growth. Without that expansion, no strength. Why does it matter? Because if you mistake collapse for defeat, you stop the cycle. You become a black hole, sucking in your own light. But if you treat collapse as preparation, you allow expansion to arrive. Science backs this up. Neural pruning during failure literally clears out weak synapses, making way for stronger circuits. Cortisol, stress hormone, signals collapse, but dopamine, success hormone, it rides expansion. The brain grows by toggling between contraction and release, like the pumping of a heart. Without collapse, there's no expansion. A seed rots in the ground, collapse. Then it cracks, sprouts, and rises, expansion. Without the crack, no tree. Without exposure, no fruit. The tide pulls back, collapse. Then slams forward, expansion. Surfers know the pullback isn't failure, it's the setup for the ride. An arrow is drawn back, collapse. Only then can it fly outward with power, expansion. You exhale, collapse, and inhale, expansion. You do it every minute without thinking. So why are you afraid of expansion? Because it means visibility. When you shine, people can judge you. Expansion kills the old self, and your ego clings to its corpse. But what's scarier? Being seen in the light, or rotting unseen in the dark? If you stay collapsed, you become a prisoner of yourself. Your dreams wither. Regret poisons you. You die with your music locked inside. That's hell. If you expand, you risk, you shine, you bear responsibility, you become the sun. You warn others, draw people into your orbit, and live as a radiant force. That's heaven. The patterns that trap people. Calling collapse failure instead of setup. Fearing responsibility more than insignificance. Loving comfort more than growth. Shrinking so others feel safe instead of expanding so others feel inspired. Mistaking contraction as punishment instead of preparation. Collapse isn't failure, it's feedback. Collapse only looks negative in the short term. From the long term, it's the womb of expansion. If you're someone who collapses, it means you're already gathering the energy required for expansion. Every life system, stars, lungs, muscles, they run on collapse and expansion. So when you collapse, you're syncing with universal law. The sting you feel in failure, that's dopamine's pathway rewiring. Your collapse is your biology evolving in real time. So as you notice every collapse you survived, you begin to recognize how every contraction has been the inhale before the exhale, the bow before the release, the tide before the wave. And you can let your unconscious now decide more easily, more naturally, that collapse is rehearsal, expansion is responsibility, and the terror you feel isn't proof of danger, but proof that you're about to shine. And the more you expand, the more coherent you become. And the more coherent you become, the more gravity you generate. And the more gravity you generate, the more life organizes itself around you. If you ignore this, you'll shrink, dim, and rust away in quiet regret. If you embody this, you'll blaze, attract, and become unstoppable. Not because you never collapse, because you use collapse as fuel for expansion. Failure and success, they're not opposites. They're harmonic inversions. Collapse feeds expansion. Expansion gives meaning to collapse. Both are electricity wearing different masks. So when collapse comes, don't curse it. Recognize it as the drumbeat. And when expansion comes, don't fear it. Recognize it